Bilal Sharif is actually the second Afghan child with the same exact birth defect that I've been able to encounter in my experience with Afghanistan. The first boy was Muslim Hakik Shah, and he was found by a dismounted combat patrol in 2010, and he found his way through our help to the United States, where he is today, 3 years later, on his second trip to U.S. to be treated. Bilal was presented to me by Afghans themselves after they heard the story about Muslim and the success of his life-saving surgery. An Afghan from the United Nations contacted me by email and asked if I could help with his second boy with the same exact birth defect, and there's no way I could say no. Yeah, the second child was presented by, again, this Afghan adult from the United Nations, and he asked if I could help him, the second boy, and I said yes, not knowing that I was going to get into a 1.5-year struggle to get all the approvals and put the entire medical package together. I mean, I had no idea that it would take so long and be so painful for both the boy, his family, and for us here on the stateside to work our way through the U.S. consulate in Kabul to get a visa for this child.
Okay. But I guess you didn't give up hope?
No, we didn't. We had everything that we needed up to the visa. North Shore Hospital in New Hyde Park was gracious enough to say, yes, we want to help this child and we'll put the package together. Dr. Monair Hanna, who was the surgeon, the urological surgeon on the first child, agreed to do the procedures. And basically, once you sign up for something like this, it's whatever it takes, because no one really knows what they're getting into. And particularly the doctor and the host family, the Dempseys from Scranton, Pennsylvania, are just awesome. And they're really been a dream working with.
Sure.
I brought him back from Afghanistan here in the beginning of October, and I visited him twice, once at his host family in Scranton, and once 2 days ago after he'd gotten out of surgery in New Hyde Park, New York. Yes.
Okay. And what was it like to be able to visit him?
Well, he was heavily sedated, but from what I understand, his host mom said that he knew where he was going when they were beginning the drive to Long Island, and Bilal jumped up in the car and was happy as a little kid going to a candy store, because he knew what he was going to do is to go get better, and he was excited about that. Bilal woke up from his heavy sedation in the hospital 2 days ago and was able to give him a little kiss on the forehead and tell him how proud I am of him, that he is a little man. Operation was a tremendous success. The docs never expected to find the stuff that they found in his body, and that was operational organs, and they put him back in, took a couple back out, and when he gets out of the hospital in 7 days or so, he's on the road to a really good recovery. He'll have to be operated on again in about 6 months, and I'm just a layman, I don't know, but I would expect that will be the end of his urological procedures. He will go in for orthopedic surgery on legs and feet after this is all done.
Will he stay in the United States during that time?
We know for sure that his humanitarian parole is only for 1 year, so he's got 11 more months before that's exhausted, and I envision him being here longer. Mm-hmm. In that case, we'll make another application to U.S. Immigration for him to extend that stay. This for me as a civil affairs officer is not about helping one child. Yes, the humanitarian aspect is absolutely there, and caring for a fellow human being is contagious. But for me, in the 353rd Civil Affairs Command, it's about helping the Afghan people make a connection with their government. The Afghan people have two choices: to support the insurgents or to support the government. And when this little boy goes home, just as Muslim did the first time in September 2011, this story will be broadcast through the Ministry of Information in Kabul on national television, radio, and newspapers. And the only message that it will broadcast is how the Afghan government had the capacity and compassion to help one of its own citizens. And that's the message that will resonate with the people of Afghanistan in hope that it will draw them to support the government and not the insurgency.
That's good.
The red tape that was presented was trying to get through the U.S. consulate in Kabul. And right now we have a huge problem where we've promised Afghans who served as interpreters and cultural advisors to coalition forces during the last 12 years that if you worked with us faithfully, that we would help you get out of Afghanistan if that was your decision, that you wanted to leave. And a lot of these guys and gals worked hard with American forces side by side with that promise that is hopefully not in vain. The Special Immigration Visa Program is a hot topic in our national media today about these guys and gals who serve with us and who are being left behind. My hope is that we don't leave them behind, that we rally Congress and the State Department to push these special immigration visas through and approve them for the people who are deserving. That is for people who are healthy. And then when you have a child who is critically ill with a life-threatening birth defect that can't come to a Western country through our consulate to get treated with all good humanitarian efforts behind it, there's a problem there.
Yeah.
And I would hope that we can work together to correct those issues. When I left the hospital, when I saw Bilal in the hospital the other day, it was just awesome. I don't want to take credit for this. The credit really absolutely belongs to the administration of North Shore Hospital, the Dempsey family, Dr. Monir Hanna, and all the people the civilians who have answered the call from a soldier for help. Those are the people who are credited with the success of this story. I was just merely an enabler for this, just one of many. So thanks very much for taking time to hear this message. You're not getting my below my waist, right?
Nope.
Okay. All right, so we have, shall I
You can walk me
describe?
through it. That'd be great.
This is Bilal, and this is Bilal's father, Sharif. This is my interpreter, Amanjan. And this is Amanjan's son, Bakar, and a couple other guys. This is in Kabul. And this is the Afghan party who helps us get from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
They provide for our security as well as for our hospitality. Bilal and his father. And this is Kabul in winter, and you'll notice that
It's a little bit away from it. Yeah.
you'll notice that Sharif doesn't even have a coat on, but it's freezing at this point.
Yeah. We're getting that reflection from the
Oops.
window. Sorry.
Shall I just flick
No,
through
that's
this?
actually that's good.
Through this? Bilal and his father. Bilal. This is inside a little safe house in Kabul while we're waiting to get to the U.S. Embassy. There's no heat in this place. This is a little electric heater, and the electricity comes and goes in and out all day long. I'm always extremely grateful for the hospitality. These folks really have next to nothing in this world, but their food and hospitality always is at hand whenever I'm visiting.
Are you taking these pictures? Or this is you taking these shots? Or?
I'm taking the pictures, yes.
Okay.
Bilal and his father. Amin John. This is Amin John, his son Bakr, and myself in Kabul. And this is January 2013. Bilal getting ready to go to sleep for the night, and he actually had to sleep in a crouching position because of his abdominal wound. Extremely resilient, this little boy, and he had something that he had a birth defect that most people would give up on, but he managed to live with it for 8 years, we estimate. We don't really know how old he is, but he lived with it for a long time, and I think he was really ready to get it fixed.
Yeah.
Just-